I gently lower Mr. Tux down to the ground after our brief photo shoot. Standing back up, I realize I have more schmutz on my clothes and dust them off. Schmutz? What a proper gentleman he is.
That's probably the cleanest he'll ever get. Man, be proud, you probably secured that little guy a date.
Wouldn't be the first. Natsuki cocks her head and raises an eyebrow before giving a slight wry smile.
Huh?
I'm an excellent, wingman.
Really? How many guys did you set up with?
1.5.
1.5?
I will not explain further.
Okay.
I have a feeling I moved in the right direction for Natsuki. She didn't completely hate that. I guess that goes in the win pile. Maybe this cat is lucky after all. All of a sudden, I hear a grumble to my right. What is a grumble? Monica, Natsuki, and I turn to face a beet-red Sayori.
You guys, it's kind of getting late. Dinner time? Yeah. Sounds like this is it. Alright, take care, you two. Big day ahead of us.
Bye!
Bye-bye! Peace!
The group splits off into thirds, with Monica and I together trekking back home. Well, home, far, far away from home. I decided to go to bed fairly early today after dinner. First day of school tomorrow, got to be prepared. It's bizarre. I'm in bed, with warm grub in my belly and a warm blanket over me. I should be tired, but the fatigue just needs a little push to really make me settle down. The last 48 hours keep replaying in my head. The gravity of my situation is finally getting to me. Is this seriously a new chapter in my life? Am I actually going to follow through with this? I've backed out so many times from things that were supposed to be life-changing moments, but here, I don't think I have a choice. The anxious side of me is taking over. I'm so far away from what I'm used to. Different world, but I'm not entirely missing everything back home. I miss my friends. There's only one left. Well, 2, hopefully. I think back to Mr. Tux. Make that 3. I'll drop a save, just in case we have another dream sequence and the thing crashes again. Speaking of which, JJ, send attachment. Photos. Send to images. Sent. Hey, look who I found here.
Yo!
Oh, damn, he's up.
Sonko! He looks cleaner.
It's 'cause I cleaned him. Anyways, it want to be up 'cause school's tomorrow. About to sleep.
I bet. Don't do none.
I promise. Night. I put my phone on the nightstand. That extra bit of screen time really dried out my eyeballs. Guess I gotta close them for a while. Looks like we're not dreaming tonight. The alarm on my phone goes off, my half-asleep brain registering its existence. The sun glows through the curtain blinds, warming up my face and waking up my brain. My eyes aren't quite a fan of it, though. Rolling over with the lowest effort, I reach onto my bedside table and pick up my phone to check the time. 6:30 a.m. Nah, I can snooze for another 5 minutes. Pressing the snooze button, I roll back into bed and try to stay awake. I take these next 5 minutes to think about the day's events ahead of me. Who? Peers. What? School. When? 8:45 a.m. Where? Kurabayashi High. Why? Language enrichment program. How? We'll figure that one out later. After my alarm goes off yet again, I sit up in my bed and turn it off. Stretching out my body and letting the tenseness ease, I stand up. I go over to the window curtains and raise them. Okay, now we're good. I thought he said he stood up and then stood up again. He stretched and stood up. Damn! That sudden blow really messed me up. Eventually my eyes are able to open fully and the outside world becomes focused to me. I see many cars driving to their respective destinations, presumably work. Traffic looks subtle, nothing too major. With my body being fully awake, I turn around and we move towards the closet. I don't know why I stuck a we in there. There was none. Opening the closet door, I find my new school uniform hung up. Looking at it, I decide to try it on. I wouldn't want to realize it doesn't fit or something along those lines at school. Taking the uniform off the rack, I go into my hallway and take a sharp right into the bathroom. Don't need to hide from there. Looking into the mirror, I slide the uniform onto my person. After getting everything properly fitted, I examine myself. For some reason, my mind wanders to Sayori while looking at myself. Oh. I proceed to button up my uniform. Much better. No offense, Sayori. I use the next few minutes to handle some minor grooming tasks. Stuff like brushing my teeth, combing my hair, and things like that. Looking at myself one final time in the mirror, I'm honestly impressed. Is it egotistical to think you don't look half bad? Yeah, right. In your dreams. I say this to my reflection, which cracks a slight smile out of me. Man, I gotta work on not defaulting to pessimism, huh? Well, that's a task for another day. Walking back into the bedroom, I do some stretches in my newly acquired attire. After doing this, I loosen up the outfit by one notch. Don't want this outfit to tear or anything like that. After doing this, the outfit has a loose but tight enough fit. Perfection. After checking my backpack and verifying its contents, I walk downstairs. Entering the kitchen, my nose smells a very familiar scent. Eggs. Instantly, I start getting excited. Can't wait for some eggs, hash browns, bacon. Instantly, my morale goes up. I catch sight of Monica frying up eggs with her back turned to me. My impulsive side tells me to scare her, but I decide against it. Ain't trying to spook her while she's frying eggs. Recipe for disaster, pun very much intended. I decide to just take a seat at the table until she sees my presence. I take a seat and listen to Monica's hummings as she cooks. The song itself seems to be very vibrato-esque, with her voice methodically going up and down in pitch. Whenever you're doing esque, it's like E-S-Q-U-E. ESC, that's not anything. Sounds angelic. After setting the eggs on the plates next to her, she turns off the stove. Her humming comes to an abrupt stop when she turns and sees me, jumping a little. I smile. Oh, come on, I was enjoying that. Could you sing me a lullaby sometime? Could really help with my insomnia. She gives a slight chuckle.
Well, unfortunately, my humming skills aren't on par with my singing skills.
I hear you. Monica recomposes herself.
What are you doing sitting here anyway? It's just a thought of creepy to not announce your presence.
Oh, really? Back home we were told not to disturb people, especially while they were cooking. Monica ponders this for a moment before eventually conceding.
I suppose that's fair.
My eyes dart over to the counter behind Monica. Speaking of, what have you got prepared today?
Well, I'm not announcing or anything, but I hope you'll enjoy my efforts.
Oh, I'm sure about that. She smiles before turning around and grabbing the plates. Setting it in front of me, I examine it. Scrambled eggs, hash browns. Hey, this seems familiar. And salad. Wait a second. Looking back on it, we didn't have any meat-based products on our last few meals either. Oh no. No. Hey, Monica.
Yes, Allie.
You wouldn't happen to be a vegetarian, would you?
Well, a lacto-ovo vegetarian, but yes, even though that doesn't make sense with my reasons for being vegetarian.
Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I should have moved to Korea. Hiding my internal screams, I reply to Monica's reveal. Gotcha. I thought I'd ask since I noticed a lack of meat in past meals.
Well, quite the astute observation.
What made you convert, if I may ask? Monica reaches down on the plate with her fork, prompting me to do the same. Covering her mouth, she responds to my thirst for knowledge.
Well, what's the term? Contrary to popular thoughts.
Close enough.
It has nothing to do with the love of animals for me. In all honesty, it's just for me to keep this figure. You might be surprised, but it's a lot of work.
Wow, women really care about looks, huh? Well, I suppose that's fair. Did you do any sports in earlier years? I assume you don't dabble in them much anymore because of the literature club.
You would be correct. But yeah, I did many sports. Volleyball and wrestling being the most prominent ones.
Ah, were you any good?
Well, volleyball was a bit of a mixed bag, honestly.
Don't need to hyphenate that.
But I was surprisingly alright at wrestling. Pinned flying up opponents.
Damn. Mental note, don't fuck with Monica. We sit in silence for a few minutes, enjoying the peace and food. Honestly, this food is quite good, despite the lack of an obvious element. But hey, who am I to complain?
And what about you, Hallie? Did you do any sports? Or any gym routines for that matter?
Well, me and JJ used to work on fitness a lot. Together. A lot is 2 words. We kinda bonded over that. I decided not to elaborate on exactly what we did, since Monica might see it as foolish. But hey, she is a wrestler, so maybe she would get it. In terms of fitness, besides going on a few runs since my arrival, I haven't really gotten the chance to go to the gym or anything. Planning an international trip to meet up with M. Stark does that kind of thing to you. Monica smiles.
Well, maybe we could go to the gym together sometime. In the meantime, we still have to focus on today.
That sounds good to me. I usually try to focus one day at a time anyway. With that, we finish up eating. I decide to clean up the dishes this time. Don't need to hyphenate that either. After cleaning up the table, Monica and I make our way over to the front door. Is Harumi home by chance?
No, she wakes up a bit earlier than we do for her job. Why do you ask?
Oh, just noting if I had to lock the door behind me. Monica nods before turning around and opening the door. I follow closely behind and lock the door on the way out. The outside weather is partly cloudy and actually fairly warm. Looks like all of the snow is melted. Well, most of it, anyway. Some patches of snow outlive the others. Walking down the street, I try to keep up with Monica's pace. Why is she so rushed? Hey, Monica. Could you slow down a bit? I mean, we're going to be early as is. See, there's another one where you actually would need a hyphen. At least I'm pretty sure. At this point, we're going to get there before the school even opens the gates.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Huh?
Oh, right. I just realized I never told you beforehand. But I have to go to the school early to turn in some documents to the student council room.
Oh. Never knew she was on the student council. Damn, her accolades just keep adding up, huh? Well, that's all well and good, but how are we going to get in? Last time I checked, school doesn't start until 8:45 and the gates don't even open until 8:15.
Tsk. You really underestimate my intelligence sometimes.
She reaches into an inside coat pocket and shakes her hand around. The jangle of keys fills the air. You have a set of keys to the school?
Yes. Well, certain sections of the school, at least. Mainly so I can get in on occasion when I'm needed.
Seems a little risky to let students have access to that. I mean, what if those fell into the wrong hands? I point to the keys. Or at least, a rough area where the inside pocket was.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh shit, probably should have phrased that better. She suddenly stops dead in her tracks and she looks directly at me. I almost walked past her on instinct.
What do you mean, wrong hands? What are you trying to say, Hallie?
Slow down, Monica.
No. Tell me what you meant. These keys shouldn't be in the wrong hands. Are you saying there are negligent students at our school?
She stares me down with fiery eyes.
Are you perhaps calling me negligent?
Wow. How did we get to this conversation? Why am I getting berated with a fusillade of questioning? I don't know if that phrase makes sense. Monica, I didn't mean it like...
Oh, I know how you meant it. But these keys could be in wrong hands. That I'm wrong. That I'm negligent.
She gets up close to me, mere inches from my face. The fire in her eyes turns into a deathly cold.
That's what you said, right?
I try to speak up, but Monica's stare is honestly causing me speech impairment. No, not at all. Come on, speak, idiot. She stares at me with crisp intensity. She suddenly backs up from me and starts laughing hysterically. What? What the hell is happening?
I don't know. You know, you really need to learn to speak in confrontation. Could have really helped you out there.
Monica winks teasingly.
Anyway, shall we be off?
With that, Monica walks right in front of me, leaving me clueless on the events that just transpired. Wow, she is something else. She pranked you. Catching up with her, we walk forward some distance before eventually arriving at the front entrance of Kuribayashi High. The pristine concrete offers an elegant touch. This is it. My rite of passage into Japanese school life and culture. Well, here goes nothing. After walking into the courtyard, I notice many people wave at Monica as she walks towards the entrance of the school. And me too. Well, they're not really waves. They more so give me stares and whisper to their fellow acquaintances as I walk past. But hey, there is an occasional wave or two. Not as many as Monica, although was I really ever able to compete? One girl looks in my direction, and when I turn towards her, she looks away quickly. Damn, I'm not that bad, am I? Monica seems to have noticed too, turning toward me, smirking. No clue what she's trying to communicate. I don't get a good chance to really admire the scenes in the area, as we reach the doors pretty quick. Monica takes out the previously mentioned keys, and we walk inside of Kurobayashi High. As we walk into the school, Monica turns towards me.
Oh, she liked you.
Ah, clever. Hey, that's my line.
As if.
We chuckle amongst ourselves and walk towards the lockers.
Alright, I worked my magic and managed to get you the locker directly next to mine. So, here's a piece of paper with the combination written on it.
Monica then hands me the paper, folded up. Did you look at this beforehand?
Maybe. As president of the Literature Club, it's my responsibility to make sure members of the club aren't hiding contraband in their lockers.
Heh, is that right? Luckily, I quit meth years ago. Kidding.
Whew.
Unfolding the piece of paper, I read the combination. 37, 12, 14. Locker 89. We'll see if I remember that in a couple hours from now. I open up the locker and check the inside out. Damn, it's like new. Not a speck in sight. Cleanliness is on a whole different level in Japan, I guess. After inspecting the locker, I close it and put the combination in my coat pocket. I then proceed to turn to my side and see Monica rummaging through her own locker. From glancing at it, it appears to be much more full than mine, albeit still nicely fitted. Wait, hold on a second. Isn't fuller a word? Pretty sure fuller's a word, you don't need much fuller.